Ready?
Yep.
Rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me in a moment of silent prayer. Thank you.
James. Hello.
He made it.
And Phil.
The whole gang's all here.
That's right. All right, we will call this meeting to order. Are there any visitors' remarks concerning the agenda?
I think there might be a Sunshine Act violation. I'm not entirely sure, but I see that there's multiple people being hired, and their hire dates are before this meeting, which makes it seem like that you're just going through the motions with the meeting, with approving them. So that could potentially be a Sunshine Act violation.
So noted.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments regarding the agenda?
Yes, if an item is added to the agenda after this current comment period, are there further comments that can be made to the additional item?
So you're asking is if the agenda were amended to afford an opportunity to add something?
Yes.
Or if you know you're adding something, just add it before the comment period ends, and then people can comment during the comment period, and then there wouldn't be any confusion
You can make comments regarding the amended item.
at the time that it's amended. Yep, okay.
So then, right, so there would be afforded an opportunity limited to whatever is added.
Yep, okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, any other comments regarding the agenda? Hearing none. Unfinished business, open bids for bridge number 34.
Okay. So we had 4 bids.
And as she opens it, just for clarification, Bridge 34 is which one, Dwayne?
Rome Township over Boulder Creek, McClelland Road.
It's a wooden bridge.
Built in 1915. We had rehabbed it in 1984. And I want to say it was 2011 or 13 is when it received the flood damage, and we restricted the width limit on it because of it.
But we continue to put work into it too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a wooden deck bridge.
Services about three residents, I think.
And as she does that, is it the expectation that if it were lifted, if it were repaired and rehabilitated, some of those weight restrictions would be lifted?
No.
Or no, it's going to stay that way? Okay. Thank you.
It's heavy enough to get a snow plow over. We restricted to put everything into the middle. We talked about that.
Thank you. Sorry, Michelle, go ahead.
Okay, so the first bid is from R.D. Vincent from Binghamton, New York for $397. $397,000.
So I was going to say, $397.
That might be a bit too.
I almost had a stroke. So did the guys that bid.
So that was R.D. Vincentis?
Yes.
Okay.
And the second one is from Ryland from Mount Wolf, Pennsylvania. And their bid is $383,763. I give you that, and you can write that in there for me.
What was the amount of this last one? Did we say 383,763?
Yep.
Yes.
383,763 from Ryland. Okay.
And our next one is from Munici. I might pronounce that wrong.
Munici.
Sorry. And theirs is $461,000.
Where are they from?
This is DuPont, Pennsylvania.
And then we have Mar Allen from Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
Ephrata.
Another one. What's that one? It's not on here.
Oh, it's on.
I missed one, sorry.
And their bid is $578,986.45.
Motion to take them under advisement.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to take those bids under advisement for review. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, consider approving the minutes of March 13th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Now, consider awarding the bid for Bridge number 15 project to Menike Incorporated, lowest responsible bidder, in the amount of $831,000, and authorize the chairman to sign.
So moved.
Second, and I just want to verify that the spelling is correct. Is it M-U-N-I-C-H-I or M-I-N-I-C-H-I?
I think it's
You're
M-I.
It is
M-I?
Yes.
Okay,
It is
so it is
MI.
correct on the agenda. Okay, thank you for that clarification.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, new business, and I will entertain a motion to add an agenda item to the agenda for proclamation on National Library Week in Bradford County.
Well, go ahead, Doug.
I was just gonna say so moved.
And I will second, which I understand to be a motion to proclaim April 6th through 12th, 2025 National Library Week in Bradford County. And so I would second the motion to amend the agenda to add that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We just discussed about having public comment before you guys voted on it.
This is just to add it to the
Oh,
agenda.
I'm sorry.
Now,
I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Public comment.
This is just to add it to the
Yep,
agenda.
I'm wrong. Sorry.
Yep. So now we're taking public comment on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to comment. Today, the commissioners are noting the significance of libraries with their recognition of National Library Week. I'm sure I'm not alone in detecting some hypocrisy here. Two of these commissioners just 2 weeks ago voted to disband the county library board. At least one of the commissioners voted against that resolution, saying he felt the action was premature. In an interview on March 14th with WBIA, Mr. McClinko stated his vision to make the BCL a destination library for people with special needs, kids, and the elderly. If the commissioners actually spent any time out there, they would know that it actually is that, and well, it was. He mentioned Destination Library in a podcast on July 19th last year and used the Wyalusing Library as an example. If that's really what he wanted, the commissioners should offer plans and funds to accomplish that goal. They used the word status quo and consultant all last year to quiet the masses, then betrayed us by slashing the budget, reducing the operating hours from 65 to 47, and firing the interim director, and now have cut other staff. No vision of the future of the Bradford County Library is offered. Let the commissioners sit here and extol the virtue of libraries. We know it makes good press. Unfortunately, their words do not match up with their deeds. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Anyone else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to proclaim
So moved.
National Library Week in Bradford County.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any further
Second, I
discussion?
should say.
Any further discussion?
And Leah, this is the text that was brought to us yesterday by the Bradford County Library.
And she's
system.
reading it as soon as
And
we
you'll be
vote on
reading
it.
it. Okay.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And Lee, if you would want to read the She's our systems director. What's that?
I gotta play the old lady game with glasses. Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can explore new ideas and be drawn to new possibilities. Whereas libraries serve as vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources, while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. Whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Whereas the PA Forward Literacy is Power initiative highlights how libraries and staff encourage literacy in basic information, civic and social, health, and financial, which contributes to greater personal and community success. Whereas libraries partner with schools, businesses, and organizations, connecting the dots to maximize resources, increase efficiency, and expand access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. Whereas library workers have worked to expand fluency in the digital literacy skills needed to navigate the online world, which 21st century information exists. Whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEM programs, and literacy initiatives fostering curiosity and a love of learning. Whereas libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. Whereas getting a library card is a financially literate action. Whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers across the country are joining together to celebrate National Library Week under the theme Drawn to the Library. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Bradford County Commissioners proclaim National Library Week, April 6th through 12th, 2025. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit their library and celebrate the opportunities they unlock for us every day.
Thank you, Leah. All right, moving on. Consider approving the Medical Assistance Transportation Program allocation amount for fiscal year 2023-2024 in the amount of $1,530,011 and authorize the chairman to sign.
So moved.
Second, and this is again just acceptance of an annual allocation, and that's what this is.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider approving an agreement between Bradford County and Train for HVAC services located at the Bradford County Sheriff and Domestic Relations offices located at 215 Main Street, Towanda, PA, 18848 for an annual amount of $18,494 and authorize the chairman to sign.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
So this is, right, so Train already does, this type of work, previously at both our Public Safety Center and our Domestic Relations. And so they sort of afford us an opportunity to continue to audit our HVAC systems, look through the data, make sure that things are running as efficiently as possible with an eye to trying to achieve some cost savings. So
Yep.
it's a good thing.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider approving an agreement between Bradford County and Train for HVAC services located at the Bradford County Public Safety Center located at 29 Van Kuren Drive, Towanda, PA, 18848 for an annual amount of $31,093 and authorize the chairman to sign.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider approving an agreement between Bradford County and Larson, Kellett and Associates, PC, to audit the financial statements of Bradford County as of and for the year ending December 31st, 2024, and authorize the chairman to sign.
So moved.
Second, and Larson
Motion.
Kellett's done this for
This is an ongoing contract we have every
many
year.
years. Yeah.
Yes, they do an outstanding job. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Consider approving an agreement between Bradford County and Larson, Kellett and Associates, PC, to audit the financial statements of the Department of Human Services for the 12-month period ending June 30th, 2024 and September 30th, 2024, and the year ended December 31st, 2024, and authorize the chairman to sign.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? And the reason for the different dates is just the different fiscal years involved, federal, state, and local. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider authorizing the chief clerk to legally advertise the meeting date, time, and location for formal reorganization of the Bradford County Redevelopment Authority, which will be held on April 4th, 2025 at 10 a.m. in the Progress Authority Meeting Room located at 1 Elizabeth Street, Towanda, PA 18848.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I just want to thank Matt Williams for kind of taking a lot of lead on this to try to bring back the redevelopment authority. I think it offers a lot of options going forward. So just thanks for him and for the team and the individuals who will hopefully in the future serve on that board.
Yep. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider authorizing the chief clerk to legally advertise a public hearing regarding the proposed modifications to the 2024 CDBG grant, which will be held on April 8th, 2025 at 11 a.m. in the Bradford County Courthouse in the Commissioners Conference Room at 301 Main Street, Towanda, PA 18848.
So moved.
Second. And Liz, do you want to take up an explanation of the need for that now, or do you want to take that up at the, if this passes and we have a hearing?
Do it now, either one.
Just a brief overview of why we're doing this.
So our CDBG program is a yearly grant program that all different organizations can apply for, and for the 2024 contract, we had submitted a handful of proposals that went through initial county approval and moved to the state level. We just received notification that the Salvation Army parking lot project in South Waverly does not meet a national objective, so it will not be able to be funded under DCED. That freed up around $125,000 worth of funds. So we are moving those funds into already eligible projects to move them forward and get the contract approved.
And just to be clear, those funds haven't been moved yet. That's the purpose. If
Yes,
this hearing
that is
goes
the hearing.
forward,
Yes.
there will be a discussion of how that gets reallocated, and it's only going to get reallocated, if at all, to another program or another initiative that has already been approved for the 2024 CDBG grant cycle.
Yes,
Okay.
24 or other fiscal
Or
years.
prior, okay. But a previously approved, okay.
So if you two guys could stick around after the meeting, we've explored the Kellogg Fire Tower and maybe reassembling it on Mount Pisgah is kind of exciting, but I found out there may be a grant available for historic fire towers. So I'd like to, don't run off afterwards, maybe have you explore that. Okay. Donated by Greg Jones to the county too, for sure.
All right, we have a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider approving the amended agreement between Bradford Sullivan Drug and Alcohol SCA and the Main Link effective July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider approving the hires and transfers from Darlene DeWalt down through and including Mackenzie Lance.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Other business. Blythe Hemmerly has been appointed in response to a court order by the Court of Common Pleas to the position of Administrative Clerk 3 for the Court of Common Pleas in the Office of Magisterial District Court 423-04 effective March 26, 2025. And an executive session was held on March 24, 2025 from 11:31 to 11:52 a.m. concerning information strategy and negotiation relating to the Sunshine Act 5 negotiation for arbitration of a collective bargaining agreement.
And I'll also add, I think it was also related to terms and condition of employment of current employees. So both are qualified utilization of an executive session.
All right, moving on. Salary Board. There is no unfinished business.
There's a
We have
Sunshine Act
met.
violation.
So noted. Thank you. We have Matt Allen, our treasurer, as a member of the salary board. There's no unfinished business, new business. We will set the salaries and grades from Bryce Hemmerly down through and including Mackenzie Lance.
Make that motion for the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Assessment board. There's no unfinished business.
Sunshine Act violation for no comment period.
So noted.
Okay. And that's the same one that you raised relative to the elections board. Okay, just for the record.
We haven't had the election board yet.
Or I'm sorry,
Yes, it was
salary
the
board, I mean.
salary board.
There's no unfinished business, new business. Consider the following for tax exemption status, and I will just go down through and read the names, and they are either new or renewals of veterans exemptions. They are Richard Odell, Anna Moyer, Matthew White, Frederick Butler, Robert Kistner, Robert Denny, Justin Wakely, John DeMille, and Peter Miller.
And that was Judson Weekly.
Judson, excuse me, yeah. Yep. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
And I second it as to the names per the agenda.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, now election board. There is no unfinished business.
Sunshine Act violation. For no
So noted. Thank you. There's no unfinished business. New business. Consider accepting or rejecting a petition for a ballot referendum granting of liquor licenses in Rome Borough.
So moved.
Second, and just for the record, so this is one where if a municipality wishes to have sometimes it's used, right? So if they are a dry township or a dry municipality and they want to move to being a what they call a wet municipality, this is how it's done. Or if there's a request to have a particular type of liquor license approved for PLCB, if they deem it appropriate.
They put it in front of voters, yes.
And so it has to go in front of the voters, and then that makes it then something that then PLCB can deal with, right? So that's my understanding.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I believe this is an aye to accept the petition.
Right.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
We have a motion, we voted on it, all in favor? Well, in favor. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Consider or rejecting a petition for the ballot referendum rejecting or accepting a ballot petition for ballot referendum granting of liquor licenses in New Albany Borough.
I make a motion to accept a petition for a ballot referendum granting of liquor licenses in New Albany Borough.
Second.
Motion to second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, before we move on to visitors' remarks, I just want to say that we've got a number of polling places that we need poll workers for. And those municipalities are Overton Township, Leroy, Laraysville, and Sylvania. So we'd encourage anybody that wants to participate in working as a poll worker to contact our elections department, because obviously to conduct business, it's desperately needed that we need poll workers to man those polls.
And it's May, the day escapes me.
20th.
May 20th.
May 20th is a primary.
Yep.
So you'd be trained, you just got to come forward, but you got a ways out yet before actually the primary day.
Okay. Cynthia Brown.
As president of the Mountain Public Library Board of Trustees, I would like to thank the Bradford County Commissioners in proclaiming Library Week in Bradford County. I look forward to all the libraries in Bradford County to be destination libraries, all 9 of them, each of their own unique, rich history in supporting literacy with reading materials free of charge to the public. And not to be outdone, also with programs and events for the benefit of enriching knowledge. Our nation was founded on the principle of education and literacy for all. The 9 libraries of Bradford County are vital community institutions that reflect and uphold the First Amendment's guarantee of freedom of expression, including access to diverse viewpoints and information.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia.
We agree. All right, Hugh Austin.
Yeah, I want to talk about volunteerism. Commissioners talk a lot about volunteers and their importance. I agree. Volunteers offer important and vital services to the county and its inhabitants. Proclamations are read here extolling the virtues of volunteerism. And today we heard a proclamation for National Library Week. So I hereby offer the commissioners an opportunity to volunteer for a particularly worthy cause. The Bradford County Library has offered the young people of the county up to 8th grade the Write Your Own Book program for many, many years, even managing to offer it during COVID. But now the library has no director, the one who would have run the program, and a staff barely large enough to keep the library open under its reduced hours of operation. The Write Your Own Book program is in danger of being lost, at least this year, and maybe altogether. Since it was the commissioners' actions which have led to this tragic situation, I think it would be fitting and appropriate for them to step in and volunteer to take charge so that this beloved program can continue. And by the way, the Friends of the Bradford County Library volunteer to pay for the printing of all the books and host a reception for the participants voluntarily. How about it, commissioners? Here's a situation where you can be a solution to a problem of your own making.
Thank you. Walter Woods.
Thank you. I'm going to ask some questions. I don't want them answered until after I'm done. You said several meetings back you would answer how the county sent a document to someone who had made a right-to-know request. How did you send that document to them?
That answer has already been received by you.
Please don't interrupt. Jeez. Are you going to provide the written legal reasoning from your attorney on how the dissolving of the library board isn't a violation of state law? It's been 2 weeks and supposedly he had already researched this before you dissolved the board. Back in 2023, the commissioners had made a deal with Henry Farley that if he helped close down the library that he would be rewarded, particularly with items from the library when it closed. Is this deal still in effect? And what is the mechanism to get these questions answered? As you have said, this new policy is a mechanism to get them answered, but so far you haven't answered hardly anything. I also want to comment on the fact that you constantly are saying you are following the law, but when I went to the prison board meeting, I was told I couldn't video record the meeting because of the inmate privacy, which is not something that is legal for Sunshine Act. Your attorney even sat there and did nothing to end the illegal process. More so, this indicates to me that there was something in the room, or could be seen from the room, that would violate the privacy of an inmate. Unless you plan on blindfolding the public, I don't see how you aren't violating the inmate's rights to privacy, unless that was just a lie, like so many others you tell them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. James.
Okay, so as far as the bids for Bridge 15, you said that Medici was the lowest responsible bidder. Was it actually did they, in addition to being the lowest responsible bidder, were they actually the lowest bidder?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And now you're going to be paying Train $50,000 a year to look for cost savings, I guess. Do you really expect that to pan out? I mean,
It's not what it is, it's maintenance.
Maintenance, okay.
Yes.
James,
it's an ongoing contract and it's
technical
maintenance.
as heck. That system is technical here, but up at the comm center, it's incredibly, I think Dwayne knows, it's incredibly technical and it's amazing. These people are monitoring it year round. So it'd be worth your time to sit down and maybe do a story on it, because it's just that cool.
And then also for that public hearing on modifications to the 2024 CDBG grant, if you're already if you have to reallocate the money that was going to the Salvation Army, like what is the if you've been told that, then what's the purpose of the public hearing? If you're going to be discussing
It's part of the process that has to be done.
Because it involves government money, because we are reallocating money that was already handed to us, we're required to have a public hearing to talk about the reallocation.
And then,
what the plan is.
and then after, it's only after that public hearing takes place that you're going to be discussing where you would be reallocating the money, or would you be doing that in the public hearing?
So it's during the public hearing, so remember,
Okay.
at the public hearing, you know, that's where perhaps recommendations, I don't know how, you know,
Can
go
I
ahead.
jump in?
Yes, go ahead.
The notice that is going to be published in the paper after this will have our recommended, and then the hearing will be an opportunity for the public
Take
to
public
weigh
input
in
on
and
those
put their
recommendations.
comment on that distribution.
And just to be clear, that's a recommendation that comes from Liz or planning department. That doesn't come from the commissioners. So it gets presented to us at that public hearing. That's when we discuss whether we agree with that, whether we totally disagree with it, whether we think there needs to be some movement one way or the other. Maybe there's somebody who's not listed but could receive it. So that's the mechanism to do it.
But it's ultimately the commissioners that decide.
Yes.
Correct, just as it was the commissioner's decision to initially do the allocation.
And then, as far as those two ballot referendums, do you know if it's going from a dry town to?
I believe it's to allow the sale of beverages, alcoholic beverages, yes.
In both municipalities?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Those would be things I would recommend that you contact Rome Borough's solicitor and whichever one the other one is.
New Albany.
You can contact their solicitor and they can talk you through what it reflects.
Do you know if there's particular, do you happen to know if there's particular business, like in Rome Borough, would it be the Dandy Mini Mart?
I don't know that for sure, but
So
I mean, all we're doing is just getting it on.
it's on the ballot to open the township up for that opportunity.
So the mechanism, just so you understand, so the mechanism is these petitions are circulated, residents or electors of that particular municipality hit whatever the requisite number is, that gets presented to our elections office. Then in an elections board meeting just like today, we agree or disagree on whether to put it on the ballot. So it's obviously not going to be for everybody, but for those individuals in Rome Borough, or in this case New Albany Borough, they will see a particular question on the ballot. And so the language of that referendum question has to be very particular, and then that goes on. It gets voted on. If it passes, then the protocol for issuance of licenses is not within our purview. That's the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, who would then issue the appropriate license. And so who that goes to, how it gets done, that's outside our purview. All we do is, as an elections board, approve putting it on the ballot, and then it's ultimately up to the voters.
They had to get signatures and write a petition to do
So
that.
it requires a certain percentage of the electors to sign a petition, and then once they achieve that threshold, then they come to us to ask to have put on the ballot.
So it was a process.
Okay, thanks. That's all my questions.
Phil?
What exactly, the executive session, what was that about exactly?
Personnel regarding just personnel related matters and union contract negotiations.
Okay. No, that's all I got.
All right,
You guys figured out a definition for press,
we will.
like anytime soon?
All right.
You didn't sign in, Mary?
Are you going to answer his questions, or are you going to do it that next week, at the next meeting? He asked several
I
questions.
know he did.
So are you going to wait and answer them at the next meeting?
We're going to have them reviewed, and we may possibly, yes.
She's not on the agenda, but she will.
You invited me to update my at the last meeting I attended. You invited me to appear with updates. And that's all I got.
Okay. Go ahead. Start the timer.
Go ahead.
Okay, very quickly, Bradford County Humane Society has not upgraded its facility since 1975, but on Saturday, we're going to start. So we'll be closed for 4 to 5 months.
You guys do a great
All
job.
right, you do. That's where Fred came from.
All right,
And he's still doing good.
good.
I don't like cats, but if I gotta have a cat, it's the one I got from you guys. She's a wonderful cat.
We have really great cats.
You do that. And I'm not a cat guy, but that cat is a good cat.
All right.
Just a brief statement. It's March Madness time as brackets get broken in Cinderella's dance. I know my favorite team to watch was the 2019 Virginia Cavaliers. If anybody knows basketball, you know their style of play. It was a lot of fun, although some people might like old Duke teams. But, as we approach this time of late March, you hear a lot of things heating up and all of that. This is also a time that we have to make sure we don't put our fire and EMT crews at greater danger. So even though there is not a fire ban, this is a time with dry conditions that we have to always make sure that we're not heating things up unnecessarily and just be thoughtful so that we don't put our fire and EMT crews at unnecessary danger. Just be aware of the circumstances, be aware of the conditions, and please just be very, very careful out there. I want to echo also what Commissioner Miller said about the primary elections and serving on for whether it's Overton, Leroy, Laurysville, Sylvania. Renee does a fantastic job of trying to get staff, and this is always the time of year in the lead up to these primaries or elections when we need to make sure we start locking down who the staff are. And so if you're able to do it, please, please, please consider doing it. And I know that she would greatly appreciate any type of help. So with that, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And also, if anybody wants to contact the elections office, the number is 570-265-1717. Also, make sure if you want to vote, make sure, if you're not registered, do that. Make sure that you have requested a mail-in ballot if that's something that you want to do. So just this is the time to start thinking about it. So it's not just about basketball this time of year. There's a lot of other important things and considerations.
Yeah, and to the point about the dry conditions and the fire dangers and stuff, I know a lot of people noticed, and there was pictures up here on the board earlier about a fire that occurred. Actually, I say a fire, numerous fires that were all connected to one event, which was a train going down the railroad tracks that sparks were coming off the train, setting a number of grass fires as they traversed through the area. They were from all the way from North Towanda to almost into Wyalusing. And you had people fighting those fires up on side hills, up on some very dangerous side hills, trying to put those fires out. So we need to be very, very mindful of not burning unnecessarily right now, because it does put a lot of people's lives and properties in danger doing that. That just happened to be one of those situations that I can remember back when I was a young fellow that happened a lot more frequently than it does now, which was trains setting fires along the tracks that they traveled on. So just be very, very mindful of that.
It's amazing how quick it gets dry.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it rained hard last week doesn't mean it's not ready for a brush fire this week.
That's right. So we thank them for all that they do, but please don't make them work any harder than they already do. So thank you. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Chairman.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
James.